Instead of focusing on winning arguments, we're teaching the basic fundamentals of sales and marketing and how we can use them to win in the world of politics, teaching you how to meet people where they're at on the issues they care about. Welcome to The Brian Nichols Show.
We just, beggars can't be choosers, Brian. Make no mistake, we are a drastic minority in the country right now. We that view property rights and individual liberty as extraordinarily important. We are in a dramatic minority right now, and we are in no place to cast anybody out. Unless they're like a truly, side note, like if you're just like uncontrollably racist or anti-Semitic or something like that, yeah, get the heck out. But aside from that, you know what I mean.
Yeah, and you know what? And this is the reality, that there is nobody, I would say, in the greater libertarian movement who wants any of those people. And this is the part that drives me crazy, is that you see like well, you were dog whistling, or, oh, you were implying. It's like, listen, if you are always searching for the worst of intentions in people, you are absolutely going to find them. And here's...
Can we stop using the term dog whistle? I mean, the whole point of a dog whistle is that people can't hear it. It's inaudible to the human ear. So, I mean, a lot of people are hearing a lot of dog whistles left and right, and that really, the term itself in its modern usage just never made any sense to me.
Yeah, well, and the reason that they're looking for the proverbial, in this case, dog whistle, right, is because as long as you're able to identify something that you can always have as like the reason to exclude, in this case, this other group, and this is the sad kind of mentality, is that we have a lot of people who they kind of just want to be friends with, and we hear this expression, right, like the Beltway libertarian, right? The people who they have their friends in DC, and that's fine. Like, you can be friends with people in DC who aren't libertarians, but like you need to not just be friends. You also need to have principles and convictions. And while you have those differences, right, to actually, when rubber hits the road, to stand on those convictions, it's one thing to be a libertarian when, it's easy, right? On whatever the easy issue is of the day. But, when 2020 was happening, back in March, and the government started shutting down people's businesses, dude, I had friends tell me that they weren't going to, engage with me on social media at all because my ideas were quote unquote dangerous, because I was encouraging people to question the trust the science, trust the experts narrative that was being used to facilitate the government shutdowns of businesses. And now you fast forward almost a year later, and now that the quote unquote accepted science has been put out there by those scientists that they deem worthy of being looked at, that actually reaffirms everything that we were saying back in March. Now they're suspiciously silent. And here's what we need to do, right, as folks in the greater liberty movement, is we need to be entirely, unabashedly strong on our convictions and on our principles when it's unpopular. Because when you look at folks like Ron Paul, right, like why was Ron Paul catching so much electricity back in 2008 and in 2012?
Because he was sorry to cut you off, but he was the only person making sense.
Well, and because he was addressing the number one concerns that were on America's mind at that time, which were, number one, we had been at war for almost a decade, and number two, we were just going through one of the biggest economic crashes we had seen since the Great Depression.
In the world of wine, there are so many choices, and that's why Blood of Tyrants Wine has tyrants losing their heads. Whether you're looking for a new go-to at home or want to impress your friends at a party, Blood of Tyrants Wine has you covered. And if you're trying to get rid of some pesky tyrants in your life, well, we've got that covered too. Head to BrianNicholsShow.com/wine and get $5 off your order. One more time, BrianNicholsShow.com/wine. Free men don't ask permission, so take a sip. You'll be glad you did.
So all of a sudden, you have this guy on stage who not only is identifying the problem that every single American was pretty much feeling across the board, but also was giving the proper solutions to those problems. And guess what? Him giving those I guess really identifying those problems and giving those solutions did not make him popular with the GOP establishment. It did not make him popular with the Democratic Party establishment. As a matter of fact, it made him very unpopular to the point that those establishments made a point to go out of their way and try to corrupt and make it so he couldn't even get a chance to be the nominee in 2012. So Here's the reality that libertarians do face. that nobody wants to be our friends in the left and right now. They don't want to be our friends. They look at us as useful idiots in many cases. And in order to help get some, idea or some certain little pet project passed, right? That's something that we need to realize, is that at the end of the day, we need to convince the people who aren't in this game. While we want to be friends with the people who are currently playing the game and be able to play the game as it currently is played, if we want to change the game, we need to bring people into this entire movement that haven't been part of the political system in the past. And that requires us going out, talking to them where they're at, meeting with them where they're at, and addressing really the fundamental issues that are really paramount to their individual communities, into their individual circumstances, their lives, so on and so forth. That's where we're actually going to have some long-lasting, meaningful relationships we're building with people. That, again, I'll finish with this, right? When we are their trusted advisor, and this is what in sales you're always trying to do, you're trying to become the trusted advisor. So time and again, they will come back and ask you for help in different areas because they trust that you're going to have the right opinion, or at the very least, you're going to put them in touch with the right people so that those people can help them along the way, where they're experts in that field, right? And that's kind of what I realized when I was doing my show, as I'm having people on who are experts in their different fields, is like, I don't have to be the expert on everything. And quite honestly, libertarians have to stop trying to be experts on everything and instead start trying to solve problems and direct people towards those who are already those experts. Let them be the experts in those fields. And then meanwhile, we can go out, build more libertarians, actually make, some substantive changes along the way in policy. And then at the end of the day, when we look back, guess what, Brady? This is the end game. We're trying to make a freer society. And I think if we pull our heads out and we actually focus on making that the number one issue, we will look back years from now and we will be pleasantly surprised with the progress we have made. But again, it requires us to take that first initial step first and really take a hard look in the mirror.
Thanks for listening to The Brian Nichols Show. Find more episodes at briannicholsshow.com.